Constance Hopkins demonstrated leadership by taking the risk of getting on the dangerous and fatal Mayflower as a young 14-year-old girl. This wasn't a common boat ride, and it was a big sacrifice because everyone who stepped aboard knew their lives would change forever. The young girl somehow managed to keep her head up and become a passenger. She took the chance to find new land with her family, but it wasn't necessarily a relief for Constance after she got off the ship either. Constance had to try to deal with living in a new forming colony, and to top it off, she had to survive through the brutal winters in Plymouth, which were very difficult for Constance and her family, both physically and emotionally. She had to stay brave for the sake of herself, her family, and the other immigrants around her. Constance was a true leader to many people with her trying to survive for themselves, and a leader to people from our times because she was so brave, courageous, and strong. The Mayflower was very unsanitary. There is not advanced medicine, it wasn't clean, there is a very low amount of water to bathe in, and this caused disease to spread on the ship.
Drank a lot of rum, actually, was a big item, but mulled liquor, vermits become cider, and they drank that because they had no milk or good water to drink. So that was one of their staples. And they also kept their meat that they brought with them in salt. And salt was kind of a preservative, so they thought that if they had it in the salt, it would make it last longer. And that's kind of where jerky started from, because they marinated it in on these salt things. However, it still got bad too because there was no refrigeration.
The Mayflower did eventually hit land. The ship reached the east side of the United States, and they called this land Plymouth, which was soon going to become a colony. Constance and her family luckily survived the trip, but unfortunately it wasn't downhill from there. The winters were no better than the ride on the ship. With the immigrants still running low on supplies, this was going to be very hard. Constance and her family knew the winters would last a while. They began to prepare themselves. Soon Constance and her people left Plymouth on September 6, 1920, and moved to a new land rather close by, Cape Cod, on November 9, 1920. Constance was brave, courageous, and strong. Her legacy can be found in all Americans who work hard for a new, improved life. This is the American way.